All right, friends, we're gonna do a reaction video to More Plates, More Dates. I have yet to do a reaction video to one of his. I think I might have done one before, but it's been a while. It's gonna do a reaction video to something that he's done recently, which is quite interesting. Um, let's see what what the steroid slave has to say. All right, More Plates, More Dates says this is the power of steroids. Yes, to artificially create artificial muscles. That's what steroids do. And if you don't understand that, then you need to go back to science school, man.
Him in the mirror, presumably.
Okay, so here's a guy on steroids. Look at that, eh? Those steroids, they're great, man, as cosmetics. If you want to create a cosmetic fake look, they're amazing. Now watch what happens when he goes off the steroids.
For a show and 2023.
That's right.
And then go to 2024.
And here he is in 2024. So there he was in 2023, and now here he is in 2024. What's he look like to you? Oh, he's got amazing genetics. Yeah, he did. He injected amazing plant genetics in his butt, and then that's what happened. And when he went off the steroids, it takes about a year actually to kind of wear away because it's still circulating in your blood depending on the type of steroids. I think it's Sustanon 250. It can last up to a year, Sustanon 250, floating around in your blood. Now, I don't know what kind he used. You know, maybe he mixed it, stacked it, whatever the hell he did there. But this is what I try to explain to you. He put in all that work. All the people are gonna say, oh, but they put in the work, those steroid guys. They put in the work. They built the muscles. Hey, man. If you don't understand the difference in the bodybuilding world, what the difference is between hyperplasia, hypertrophy, and sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, there is a third type of hypertrophy called well, there's other hypertrophies. I mean, they're transient. I'm not going to talk about them now, like inflammatory response, which a lot of people get when they go to the gym. They're just inflaming their muscles. But it's just fake because they're adapted. They're not doing anything there. But there is a third one called sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, what bodybuilders get, especially these type of bodybuilders, the steroid people, because they can't stop eating carbohydrates. It's easier to eat carbs than it is to eat meat. I'm not joking. I'm not joking, man. I'm telling you, it is very difficult to eat a lot of meat. And a lot of people just won't sit there and keep eating meat all day to be in a positive nitrogen balance, which makes you anabolic, which puts you in a growth state because it shuts off the catabolic hormone. It converts it to an androgen, so it doesn't have to compete with the myocytic androgen receptor, making you anabolic. But you people out there, you're so daft in the brain that you don't even understand these things because you don't read science. You don't understand anything that's going on around you. You don't have any experience either to go find that, to figure it out on your own. I know. Steroids build muscles. Sure they do. Science tell you that steroids do not build muscles, dude. You understand that?
What's up, guys? Derek, MorePlatesMoreDates.com. Today we are looking at one of the most...
Science tells you steroids do not build muscles. They don't build muscles. You want to know what builds muscles? You want to know what builds muscles? Here, this is what builds muscles, okay? This is for the people out there. This is for the people out there. When muscle protein synthesis exceeds muscle protein breakdown, muscle hypertrophy, aka muscle growth, occurs. See that? That's when it happens. This by a Dr. Nima. Muscle hypertrophy is dependent on the balance between muscle protein synthesis and breakdown and can be influenced by many factors, including nutrition and exercise. Yes. The full version from NCBI, I think it goes like this. Hold on a second. So this is there. You can see the NCBI things in case you don't believe me. There's NCBI right there, protein synthesis, okay? If muscle is going to gain mass, protein synthesis must exceed protein breakdown. They say the same thing too. While it may be common to view training as a powerful stimulus for protein synthesis, it is. It is also important to recognize that it is a signal for protein breakdown. Now, what is that guy, that bodybuilder getting? Oh, that's really easy. So it contains sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. It contains adenosine tryptophosphate, glycogen, creatine phosphate, and water. During a workout, more fluid moves into the muscles to provide energy. Sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. See, there's a word. Listen. Hypertrophy. What's hypertrophy? It means something's getting bigger. The sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. It's hypertrophying. Refers to the increase in volume of this fluid. It can make muscles appear what? Oh, it can make them appear larger, but it does not increase the strength. It's a type of artificial muscle growth. That's what it really is. If you don't understand that. I don't know if it's going to tell you here. It's not going to tell you here. It's a type of artificial muscle growth. A lot of lifters get sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. Look, man. Notice here these people are training. They're trained people. They're not untrained. They're not unaccustomed or unfamiliar with their exercises. They're trained lifters. What is the majority of their muscle largely attributed to? What's it attributed to? Sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. That's why people walk around. They think they're big. They're not. They're big. They're big. They're carrying a lot of weight, but that's all they're carrying is weight. They're not carrying real muscle. If you even actually carried 10 pounds or 20 pounds of real muscle, believe me, you're gonna be super, super, super strong, dude. But you're all weak. You're all lifting for numbers in the gym thinking that you're strong. That's an adaptation process too, to lift weight. That's an adaptation process. Don't believe me? Okay. All right, you don't believe me, right? Here. Huh. What they're trying to tell you in science is myocytic androgen receptor controls the strength. Yeah, it controls that strength, that adaptation strength. It controls it, but it doesn't control the mass of the limb muscles. See that? It doesn't. Getting a stronger can't get you a bigger. Get it? You want to know what's get you a bigger? The mass on the myofibula, the mass on the limb muscles. When protein synthesis exceeds breakdown. So even if you are on steroids, if you're eating carbohydrates all day, what do you think you're getting there, dude? Carbs are not protein. They're drugs.
Wildly viral physique deteriorations that has been posted recently that is getting a lot of traction.
Their physiques didn't deteriorate. They never built a physique. If they actually built something, then it would be there, wouldn't it? See what I mean? That's why a lot of people are always complaining, my gains are going, my gains are going. Even the natural people are building artificial muscles called sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. That's why it's so popular, get it? That's why you're eating so much carbohydrates. You're eating carbs all day, dude. That doesn't build muscles.
A lot of people are talking about, but it's not for the reasons many think.
It even carbs, which is a drug, even interferes with the building of muscles. It interferes with it. It actually overrides the protein, and you gain weight. You don't gain any muscle. You just gain weight from carbohydrate, dead weight. Yeah, man. You don't understand that? It makes you insulin resistant. If you're eating look, I love this. The people, they go after a workout, and what do? They start carb loading. They go, oh, we got a carb load after our workout. Even if you're eating protein there and you're carb loading at the same time, bro, you're insulin resistant. You're not building any muscles. That's why you're all complaining about newbie gains. I reached my genetic limit, my newbie gain limit. Oh, I'm a hard gainer. I'm eating everything but the kitchen sink. Oh, I love that one, man. The hard gainer guy. Bro, you're insulin resistant. Duh. How can you build muscles if you're insulin resistant? See what I mean? Now, complex carbohydrates, which are still mixed, you may be eating some, but it's mixed in there, but you're still eating carbs, so they're making you insulin resistant. They're fighting between each other in an uphill battle. If it was just complex, maybe, just maybe, you could get away with it because it doesn't spike insulin. It's slow absorbing and it usually goes into the muscle. But again, the complex carbs are shuffling into the muscle. You're creating sarcoplasmic muscles. See what I mean? So these carbs that are making you insulin resistant, definitely if you're resistant, it's going to start shuffling as fat. You're going to get fat. You're going to gain maybe some sarcoplasmic muscles too off that. So you gain these fake muscles blowing up, going up and down, up and down. But mostly complex is what loads in the muscles glycogen. The rest loads as triglyceride, makes you fat, dead weight.
So this is Arthur Ponce, also known as Ponce Physique. I could be butchering that. Apologies if so. He is a men's physique NPC athlete, 2-time overall champion, presumably 5 times top 1. So I'm assuming winning his class in men's physique. And then of them,
Man, this is nothing new. All these guys, when they go after steroids, they all turn like that. Look at Kevin Levrone. Kevin Levrone was massive. Get it? And then when he went off his steroids, he would show himself. He looked exactly like this guy. So this is nothing new. Steroids do not build muscles.
was 2 of those, he won the overall or something, but could be wrong. Anyways, relatively accomplished.
More plates, more dates. He looks so down. He's like, oh, I think he's competing now. Man, you mean that steroids don't build muscles? That's why if they actually could build muscles out of thin air, everybody would be taking steroids once and never taking them again. That's the reason what these steroid users discover is they gotta stay on them forever until they kill you.
In the NPC and presumably gunning for his pro card. The guy looks pretty awesome, and this is the physique of somebody who is taking this quite seriously and gunning for a pro card, presumably.
You want to know what NCBI says? What maintains that muscle? Protein, not lifting weights. Weights break proteins down. Man, people really have to be out to lunch. Shit, it's maintained by protein. It is not maintained by lifting weights. Now, if you want to maintain some of these, I'm not talking about natural strength. If you actually build natural muscle, real muscle, if you build muscle, then you have some natural extra more strength. That strength doesn't go away. Now, any extra strength that you may have gotten in numbers, you all guys are throwing numbers around, that would have to be maintained in the gym by lifting, by making you a lifting slave. Get it? You have to be a lifting slave to maintain that fake strength that you got in the gym through adaptations. Now, if you actually build natural strength eating protein and you build muscle, it doesn't need to be maintained in the gym. Get it? It needs to be maintained only by eating protein when it's net zero.
Now, most recently, he has gotten a lot of attention for this absolutely wildly viral video that has almost 1 million likes, let alone views, of him essentially losing his entire physique in a year. So this is the before. Him in the mirror, presumably before a show.
Okay.
And 2023. And then go to...
That's him in 2023. Before a show, and now off the steroids.
2024. You can imagine the comment section is...
Yes, I can imagine the comment section. Steroids are fake.
Expectedly, steroids versus...
I know. He had great genetics, guy.
Yeah. This is what happens when you take...
I know. He had great genetics, right? He had great genetics. He did. He did have great genetics. When he went to the pharmacy, they gave him a bottle of genetics. He injected it. Plant genetics. He injected plant genetics. Duh.
Steroids, you just absolutely fall apart after you stop them. A lot of people shitting on them in the comments.
Do you fall apart after you take them? No, you go back to your regular shitty genetic look. People who take steroids, it's because they have shit genetics, guy. So you understand me? It's not that they have good genetics. They have shitty genetics. That's why they take steroids.
A lot of people making videos talking about how you know, that's what happens. I guess it's not entirely wrong, but it is quite misleading given the context, and I felt like it was worth elucidating just what actually happened here, because it is not just coming off of steroids. This is the caption.
Yes, he's elucidating. I'm hallucinating.
We all have a new beginning. At the beginning of this year, I had to take a forced break from pursuing my dream, but it wasn't my plan.
Yes. I took in a forced my dream, because my genetics, they disappeared by accident.
It was God's plan. I underwent surgery to correct 4 hernias in my belly.
Oh, it was God's plan. Okay. 4 hernias. You want to know why? Because he took steroids. Steroids, of course, they're a hormone. They're going to increase your force production because it's myocytic androgen receptor. They're binding with the myocytic androgen receptor, giving more force production artificially. And so on that tiny little shitty frame of his, that crappy skinny little whatever this thing is, whatever this thing is standing there, the specimen of a who knows what. I thought it was a woman at first. It destroyed him, so he had to have surgery. Gave him hernias.
Belly button. Thank God everything went well, and soon I'll be free to compete again and do what I love most. Today I'm here to announce that Pontes, sorry if I'm saying it wrong, will be back as soon as possible fighting and chasing his dream. I'm assuming this is the Google Translate that made it speak in the third person, because I'm assuming you wouldn't be talking about.
Of course, they all do. They're going to fill up their muscles again with the sarcoplasmic hypertrophy and fake it.
Themselves like that. But anyways, to announce that.
Can you imagine taking a drug just so you could maintain a fake weight, like glycogen in your muscles, to maintain that? That's ridiculous. How are muscles maintained? What does it say in science? How are they maintained? If you build them with protein, how are they maintained? With protein. Okay. How are these muscles maintained when you build them with glycogen? How are they maintained? Well, really simple. You have to keep injecting it. That's how. So it keeps storing this glycogen in the muscle, keep you fat. He's really just fat. You just don't notice it. You think he's got muscles because, oh, he's got thin skin, bro. Yeah, because he took drugs to suppress the triglyceride, but not the glycogen in the muscle. It's the opposite.
Pontes will be back as soon as possible fighting and chasing his dream, today without any sponsorship or partner. But most importantly, with God. I'm going to start over until I get to where God promised me I would get to. I'm not here wanting you all to feel.
God didn't tell you to put drugs in yourself, plant drugs, dude. Didn't tell you to inject it.
Feel sorry or pity for me. I just want to show that we all go through ups and downs, and today I'm in this low phase. But I know where my rightful place is, which God promised me. I hope to be able to motivate people with the...
He knows his rightful place right here. On MorePlatesMoreDates.
My new journey, and I promise to share as much information as I can here with you. There's no point in trying to rush things, since God has our entire story written in the book of life, everything in God's time.
God doesn't have anything, has nothing to do with this, man. Look, scientists have said this years ago, even when I was growing up, that steroids do not build muscles, bro. Get it?
Anyone here who still believes that this dream can become reality, leave a comment here on the video to strengthen it. Right underneath that, top comment, almost 14,000 likes.
If you build real muscles, even the mass on the myofibrillar, I'm not talking about like repairing and remodeling, getting a remodeling of the muscle fiber as well. Getting more muscle fibers and getting more mass on the myofibrillar. It doesn't just go away. It takes years. It takes years for it to slowly erode and go away. If you actually built it when you were young and you ate a lot of meat the whole time.
This is the power of injection emoji times 4. On versus off.
Yes, that is the power of injection.
Steroids. What's happening, bro? Is this because he had hernia surgery and had to quit the...
No, it's because steroids don't build muscles. The people in the comment section, they must be out to lunch, man. So are so many people just brain dead out there or what?
Drugs and roids? It's achievable without steroids. He just chose the easiest route. Shrug face. Or shrug him up.
No, I wouldn't say that artificial look wasn't achievable without steroids. That artificial look that he exuded is only achievable with steroids. Now, a natural look of muscle is only achievable naturally. You understand me? That's the difference.
The cycle doesn't last forever. Crying a lot. Congratulations for both showing both sides of the coin.
Yeah, the cycle doesn't last forever. Just like smoking drugs, you have to keep buying them. That's what that's what it's based on. It's based on marketing money. Hello.
Yeah, I admire you for that. First one to comment in English, flex emoji. But what happened though, LOL? Nothing by Raffit. Yeah, gone. The effect of them steroids is simple. What comes quickly goes quickly. This makes me want to take steroids, LOL. So, the guy never said he came off steroids, to be clear. There are reasons you may come off for surgery, absolutely. However, in general, this is the result of him going in for 4 hernias being corrected. And essentially,
That isn't the result of him going in for 4 hernias, okay, dude? That's him off steroids. That's what he looks like naturally in person.
detraining himself entirely and probably completely falling off his diet. And, you could say, oh, well.
Man, is Derek that brain dead, man? He knows about sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. He knows these things because he's even seen my old channel. Because I did a video once on him and he wrote me. He was upset because I did that little skit about him. He actually wrote me on my old channel. I swear to God, I'm not joking, man. He wrote me back. He was upset that I put that video up about him rambling. Remember that little clip? I put it back up on my new channel now where he's rambling. He was really angry.
You probably pulled back your hormones quite a bit too. The reality is there's a lot of guys that will stay on TRT when they go do their surgeries. Like, it would be pretty counterintuitive for a lot of guys who otherwise...
They would just keep injecting themselves if they went for surgery. There was no point for him to keep doing it. What's the point?
Don't have significant clotting risks or anything that may otherwise seem blatantly problematic to be going into a totally catabolic environment going into surgery.
Yeah, I need to go into surgery smoking marijuana. It's okay for me to keep smoking marijuana, sniffing cocaine, and go into surgery. Yes, yes, Derek. I will take your advice. I'll keep injecting.
Simply to what exactly? Like, sure, you're not going to be on your full stack that you're on for your show, of course, which presumably was what this was the best he has looked, I would assume, to show the greatest disparity in this picture.
Yeah, it creates a beautiful artificial muscle look. Yeah, that's what steroids do. It's amazing.
He's probably pumped up here, perfect lighting, pre-contest, maybe carved up, I don't know, but he's like at his best here. And then he's showing his absolute worst in a completely detrained.
He's not showing his absolute worst. He's showing what he looks like as a normal human. That's what this guy looks like. You understand? He's just a speck of himself.
State, post-surgery, probably about to get back into the swing of things. And it's cool that he's able to show this. A lot of people would not come on camera and be this forthcoming about the ups and downs.
What are you talking about? Kevin Laroni and so many other people have come on camera to be forthwith and whatever. What are you talking about, Derek? You know this.
Of this lifestyle or bodybuilding in general, enhanced bodybuilding especially.
Whatever, he's making this stuff up, man. A lot of people have come back looking like that off the steroids. Okay.
Guys who have their image so tied up in, being big and jacked, very infrequently will they come out.
Yes, their image is big and jacked. Yes, it's this steroid. Okay, man.
But and actually show you them essentially, deteriorated from what you otherwise perceived as them at their best, which is what a lot of people probably follow him for. So I commend him for that. Absolutely.
He doesn't look deteriorated. He looks like he came off this cosmetics.
But this is not, again, as said, showing all that goes into the lifestyle. This includes surgical intervention for certain things like hernias, very common in body.
Oh man, he's making up so many excuses now. This is just ridiculous. Why are you talking for the guy? Let the guy talk, okay?
Builders. Now, another example worth mentioning is IFBB Pro James English. This is actually a very recent example with a very comparable situation. James is an IFBB Pro in classic physique, and not that long ago, he won his pro card. And when he won his pro card, as you would expect, the guy looked absolutely nuts. Not that he doesn't look nuts now, but here he is here, looking dice to the goddamn socks. Here he is posing in the gym with the perfect downlighting, immaculate vascularity and fullness. Here he is pre-show, full as a house, traps up to his goddamn ears. Doesn't get any better than this, bro. Ended up winning, getting his pro card. I actually did a video on his stack if you want to check it out. We talked about everything that went into it. It was pretty awesome, pretty fucking proud of the guy. It was awesome to see it come to fruition. But anyways.
Yes, I'm so proud of him for injecting steroids in him. Okay, yes, okay.
Besides the point, he ends up getting hernia surgery not long after, because having a hernia as a bodybuilder fucking sucks. So you gotta get that fixed.
Kevin Laroni didn't have hernia surgery, and these other bodybuilders that went off their steroids, Derek. So what do you attribute to them losing all the gains and looking like a regular dude?
If it's problematic. So here he is getting penis enlargement surgery. Just kidding. It's a sports hernia. Some of the comments are fucking comical in this one. Pick or no proof. Bro actually was getting calf enlargement surgery. Congrats on the Franken penis. So gets surgery for the hernia. Now, as you would expect, just to be clear, this guy is not off of hormones. It's not like he's blasting his socks off, but he is not on a prep diet, nor is he training rigorously when he is in the hospital getting a hernia surgery, and then he has to recover for a certain amount of time. And as you would expect, you have some deterioration, or at least you would think so, or I guess most people would just claim steroids on.
Why does he keep saying deterioration? These people are deteriorating.
Off, which is not the case. So here he is showing his, detrained physique, essentially, after surgery. 4-month transformation, post-surgery muscle memory. So, does this look the same as
post-muscle memory? He's back on steroids. What do you mean, does this look like? What is he trying to justify? That he's on steroids, bro, to keep maintaining some look. Otherwise, it's gone.
The pre-contest physique I showed? Of course not. However, you would be quite misled to think that there was not some hormone assistance in this man's blood at this time as well.
Of course there is. Hello. Because he's a genetic loser like the other guy. They're all both genetic losers, so they gotta inject these plant genetics.
It's not uncommon for guys to be losing tissue, regardless if they're on versus off, based on the actual stimulus imposed and the actual environment to recover properly via the nutrition. All of these things play a factor. You can't just inject steroids and
recover via the nutrition? I don't understand. What nutrition? Carbohydrates aren't nutritionists. They're nutritional, bro. They're drugs, carbohydrates, man. They're made from plants.
Become a behemoth, nor could you maintain behemoth status. It will absolutely offset muscle loss, but to a certain degree, ultimately you still need to eat the food and train the muscles. So I would.
Yeah, they're eating the wrong food though. To train the muscles to glycogen load. Remember, for every gram of glycogen, 3 grams of water are drawn between the skin and the muscle into the muscle, creating these beautiful sarcoplasmic fake muscles.
I would think it's pretty easy to say
it's really easy to eat carbs and eat a lot of carbohydrates. It's easy, but meat, protein's really hard. That's why you see these bodybuilders. We just saw Dr. Mike. He's eating in his house. He's eating very little protein, but he eats a lot of carbohydrates. His diet, I would say, is probably 85% carbs, and then maybe 15 or 20% protein. Yeah, it's a small amount. It's supposed to be the opposite. It should be like 90% protein and 10% maybe complex carbohydrate, possibly. And it has to be timed. It's very specific. Experience teaches you that, but these guys, they don't know anything.
Reasonable eyesight would not say this looks wildly different, despite the fact that he's still enhanced. And then after that surgery and this deterioration completely melting, essentially, as you would expect, the guy blows back up and gains the size back in short order. Here he is looking full as a house.
Yeah, he's injecting again. Okay.
Quad sweep on point.
And what it does is the testosterone, whatever, it absorbs the glycogen into the muscle really, really, really fast. A lot of glycogen, giving this artificial look. This look, yes.
Guy's gonna explode out of his goddamn young LA tank.
It's like a penis pump, man. You put your thing in a penis pump and it enlarges it bigger than it would normally be because it's holding a lot of blood in there. It's just drawing it in there, but it's still flaccid. Penis is still flaccid. It's not even totally hard. It's just drawing a lot of blood in there, pushing it out at all sections.
Fucking money, buddy. So, guy's an absolute unit. Truck stick and a half.
Yes, he's an absolute fake unit. Okay. Anybody else here? Is another guy? I don't know. This is getting boring now. It's gonna go back to this guy or what? Let's see. I don't know what he's talking about.
It's Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok, Apple.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's over the video.
Negative light.
Anyway, yeah, negative light. Okay. Man, tell me what you think about that. Like, subscribe, support the channel. I'll see you in the next video, man. I'm going to end it there because this is ridiculous stuff, bro. There's nothing new, but, you know, it's just for educational purposes anyways, the reaction video. I'll see you in the next one, man. Ciao.